Hey everyone, you're listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network, and this is the Chicks Passion Show. I'm Cece Schatz, a doyenne of relationship building, and I have with me my good friend,
Kathy Lamb.
Kathy Lamb. That's right. How you doing, Kathy?
I'm doing good. I feel good.
I tell you what, a lot has happened in just a short time. We haven't been on for a whole week.
Wow.
No. So what's going on in your life?
I've been just doing the same old thing, working in my big, huge yard. The junk keeps growing and growing and growing. And so, at least, it's keeping me out of trouble.
Yeah.
Keeping me healthy.
At least that's what we're going to say, right? We're going to say that it keeps you out of trouble.
I want to get in trouble so bad.
I was just thinking that the other day. I was thinking, remember the times when we used to go out and we would drink too much and we dance too much and we do all this stuff we shouldn't be doing. And here we are.
We're following the rules.
I know. We want to break those rules, don't we? Absolutely. Well, we have a lady on that does break the rules. She kind of stands alone in her own right. And let's bring her up because she's very fascinating, and I'm excited to have her on.
Hi.
Hey, how are you? We have Jenni Raney Edwards on. She's an inspirational professional speaker. She's the author of Bumping Down the Highways in Happy Trails USA.
Oh my God, that sounds like so much fun.
Yeah, she bumps down the highways. It's pretty cool. So tell us, Jenni, what's going on with you on the RV trail?
Oh my gosh, y'all. So I have to be careful because when I don't want to offend anyone, but during this whole COVID-19 thing, my life actually rocks. At first I sat still when the world started shutting down. I was in North Carolina in the Great Smoky Mountains, and I thought, oh my gosh, I can't go anywhere. I can't travel. I can't do anything. And then I realized, oh, yes, I can, because I don't have to worry about hotels. I got my own bedroom with me. Public bathrooms, forget it. I've got my own bathroom, and I know it's clean. Restaurants, I don't have to worry about, because I have my own restaurant. I can cook inside a fabulous meal, or I can have outdoor grill dining. I didn't have to worry about any of that stuff. I didn't have to worry about who was sitting too close to me when I was traveling because I had my own wheels. I drive a big RV down the road. And when I realized that, I thought, oh, heck no, I'm not staying home. I'm going back on the road.
Yeah, what a life.
RVs actually are the safest way to travel right now. RV parks, they lend themselves naturally to social distancing because the sites are already way more than 6 feet apart. And I still got to talk to people and meet new interesting people. I got to see friends and still got to visit with people while everybody else was cooped up at home. RV parks even went the extra mile and set up online registration. They
Hey Mark. Hey Mark, it's so glad to see you here. Kathy, change your hair.
and so they set up either online registration or curbside registration, so you didn't have to go in. When I was on the road, I still am on the road, but when I was on the road, I'd go to bed every night listening to families laugh outside while the rest of the world was on lockdown and stressed and emotionally wiped out. This world was still having a good time. They just did it a little differently. Oh, one of the exciting things, I went to an RV park, Flamingo Lake RV Resort in Jacksonville.
You're in your RV right now?
No, because I didn't have enough internet there. That's one of my challenges. So I have friends that live here, and I said, hey, can I come borrow your basement? So I'm down with an incredible view and sunset back there. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah, nice.
No, can you see?
Oh, nice. Yeah, very nice.
Way up in the mountains. But so I go to this RV park in Jacksonville, Florida, Flamingo Lake RV Resort. And normally they have all kinds of activities. They have live music on the weekends. They have all kinds of stuff going on. Well, all that had to change because of COVID-19. I picked the perfect day to show up. I get there and they were just gonna try this social distancing bingo night. So everybody had their own table, and I had my mask and my gloves and my sanitary wipes to clean everything, and I went to play. So I never win anything. I won jackpot that night.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God.
Not treating me. I worry about my family. I worry about my friends. I have to pretend I have it or I've been exposed, but I still get to do what I love to do.
That's great. Well, I have heard, and Kathy, you had mentioned it too, that RVs, the sales of RVs have gone up because that's about the safest way for people to travel now.
Jenny, I was just telling Cece the other, just before you got on that I was watching a show just last night about the RV life and people who are buying them and how much the sales have gone up. This is like, oh man, I wish I could do that, but I got a phobia about driving places that I don't know, number one, and then driving something really huge is like something scary. But actually I was thinking though about getting out of this house, and I thought, well, I have a tent. I can go take it to a park and go, park my tent out somewhere. It's not big, but
I'll give you a tip on that. If you decide to go tent camping, the RV parks are opening up. However, their bathrooms are not. So there's this fabulous thing. It's called a 5-gallon bucket, and Walmart and Amazon sells a toilet seat, the lid.
Oh, okay.
The bags that go in it. Take your own toilet because the bathrooms are closed.
So what do you do with this stuff?
When I was a kid, the 5-gallon bucket. And I remember that. And I was never very good at the 5-gallon bucket.
So what do you do with it after you?
The bag has stuff in it. It's meant for what it's for, and it closes up and it degrades or it whatever it does.
So you take it and throw it in the trash bin or something?
Well, I don't know that answer. I'd hate to give the wrong answer. I just know that I've talked to other people that do that when they go tent camping. Because remember, I have my own flushing toilet in my RV, so I don't have.
She's living high class.
She goes glamping. It's glamping.
Oh yeah, beautiful RV. And Cece, I think had I bought my new RV last time I talked to you?
Yeah, you had just bought it. I think I'm not sure if we did the show when you were in your motorhome, but then didn't you get a fifth wheel, right?
No, I got so I started out with a little tiny camper, a little thing, the little Shasta Air Flight, before I went full time and realized, oh, I love this, but there's no way I could live in 19 feet. I was tripping over everything. I had to turn sideways to go to the bathroom, and I found it big. But then I went to a big fifth wheel, and then I had the big 40 plus foot Newmar Canyon Star Classic. And now I traded in the fall for something smaller. It's not small. It's 33 feet, but it's smaller. But it's a Class C. It's a Jayco Greyhawk. And oh my gosh, RV manufacturers finally got it. Woo! Style. They did farmhouse style, so it's the light colors and the distressed white woods in the cabinet. And so it feels bigger than it was. And the awesome thing about this Jayco is that it's easier to drive. So I drove, and I could drive like a pro, and I could back up better than most men with the big bus. But when you're driving down the road, the wind blasts at you because you have this big giant windshield.
Right.
Class C are the RVs that look like a massive giant van or a truck that has the top comes over it and then it goes way back behind you. It's set up so that the wind comes over you better and it sits a little lower. I love driving it.
Did you have to go to a special driving school to learn how to drive it, or?
No, but I will tell you that anybody that has never done it should. I think I told Cece last time we talked, when I first bought my big bus, I thought, I just drove across the country more than once from Florida to Oregon, pulling a 40-foot fifth wheel behind my big truck. And I did just fine. So how hard can this be? And so I go and I pick out this big bus. It looks like a tour bus, the one that I had before, like a big band tour bus, big giant bus, and then it has slide outs that move out to make your rooms bigger. So I think, how hard can it be? I hand the dealership a check. I move my things from the fifth wheel over to the Class A motorhome. I climb behind the wheel. I pull out of the parking lot, and I can't keep the dang thing on the road. It was awful. I thought, it's done. I'm not going to be able to travel. I'm going to have the most expensive trailer in some trailer park because I'm going to be sitting there in my beautiful rig. I had a great friend that came and rode with me and introduced me to Chuck Erwiller, who you'll see if you read the book Bumping Down Highways. He did what do you call it? He gave me a review in the front of the book. He was with RV driving school. I spent 2 days for 2 full private lessons, just him and I. I think it was $500 or $600. Best $500 I ever spent. And people would get mad at me for saying this, but no one should be allowed to go buy something that big and get behind the wheel without some kind of license or some kind of class, because I honestly couldn't keep it on the road. It took me 2 hours to make a 30-minute drive because I was so afraid and going so slow when I
That
first
would be
bought it.
me. That would be me.
But then once I did the class, 2 days, and after the second day, he made me drive through Walmart parking lots. He made me go to a movie theater. You know how tight those parking lots are? He made me go to a movie theater. We were on the interstate. We were on back roads. We were in city roads. And when we were done, he said, "Congratulations, you passed, yah, yah, yah." And I said, "So what if I want," this was on Monday. "Would it be crazy if I wanted to leave Thursday?" I was in Central Florida and drive to Oregon for Thanksgiving. And he looked at me and he kind of chuckled and he said, "I don't think it's crazy at all. Don't look at it as a drive from Florida to Oregon. Look at it as practice every day. Take your time, stop when you're tired." And I did it. I was a day late, but my son and all of the friends that were there, they held Thanksgiving until Friday. And since then, I've been all over the country. I put 97,000 miles on that RV.
So, did you have any fears of driving over narrow bridges?
I was petrified.
That would be me.
Well, it wasn't that they were narrow or not.
Uh-huh.
It was, the wind is worse on a bridge. And I was certain, I wanted 3 lanes so I could drive in the middle lane because I was certain the wind was going to hit me and I was going to lose control and I was going to go over the side. Now they don't bother me at all. I've been through 47 states. I've done every bridge, every mountain, and
That's so amazing.
So you'll have to
amazing, isn't it?
Tail of the Dragon in North Carolina. Because I take like back roads sometimes to get me in trouble because I probably shouldn't be there with my big RV. And so I was taking this road in North Carolina. I think it's US 129 or 179 or something, but it's called the Tail of the Dragon in North Carolina. And so I end up on that road. Y'all, this is a series of S curves, really steep up and down S curves. It's constant. And when I was going up, I had to worry about the people that would be coming around the corner and not see me because I'm taking up both lanes to make it around the curve. There's no guardrail. There's nothing. There's a cliff down there. And it's a narrow 2-lane road. And so that wasn't as bad as when I had to go down. Literally, y'all may not understand this, but like a normal downhill grade that you would see in Philly or somewhere might be 3 or 4%, 6%, 8% gets a little crazy. These were 16% grades, like almost like this going downhill.
But don't you have what they call it, like an S brake or something like that you can put on?
People call it a Jake brake, but you can't use that constant. You'll burn up your brakes. So then my next year going downhill was not going too fast when I went around the curve. So what I do is I use my engine. I learned after thinking years ago I had met my demise and that was the day I was going to die because I was going too fast down a mountain. I learned to let my engine do the work. So there's a little button called tow haul. You push that. When you push your brake, you push real hard and let go, and it pulls your engine back. It slows you down. And you just have to do that over and over. If you keep your foot on the brake, you're in trouble because you burn up your brakes and you have no brakes. So I wanted to turn around, except for there were no houses, nothing on this mountain. And I see a pull off. You know, you see some of these things where you could get off the side of the road so somebody could pass you. And
Right.
I pull off and I'm looking, can I turn around here? And I wasn't sure I could make the turnaround, but what I was sure of is it wouldn't be fast. And if I tried to do it and somebody came around the curve, it wouldn't be before it was too late. So I kept going and I come to this little bar, cafe, store thing that was there for hikers and motorcyclists because that's who's usually on that road. And I thank goodness for COVID-19, they were dead. There was nobody there. So I was able to get in their parking lot. I climbed down out of my RV on shaky legs. I can barely walk. And I go inside and I tell the lady behind the bar, I really just want to know how to get off of this mountain. I can't do this. And she looked at me and I thought I was going to throw up. She said, it gets worse as you go. The only way to turn around and go back the way you came. And so I turned around and it was only 5 miles that took an hour. I had to go back the way I came. I never want to be on a road like that in my RV again. But the exhilaration of getting off of that mountain and saying, you know what, I did it. I did it. People are afraid of that, and I did it is pretty dang amazing. I'm afraid. Oh my gosh, I'm afraid all the time. I just am not afraid.
So you'll never do that one again.
I don't want to do that road again. I'll end up on good roads again just because of me driving back roads, but I don't want to do that again. I won't do it on purpose.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I think it's very exciting. I actually dated a guy that had a motorhome and wanted to do some traveling, but at the time I couldn't live in it. But yeah, so I think it sounds like a lot of fun to be able to travel. And my family's spread out, so I thought, oh, that would be kind of a cool thing. Yeah, when I'm ready to do some retiring.
I would love to do that.
Mm-hmm. I think that when this stuff all settles down, I should just come get y'all and we can go for a ride.
I did. Yes, sir.
I'll bring the wine. You have to drive, though.
Yeah, I'd rather drive because you can either sit in the passenger seat, but there's a couch back there and there's a chair back there. There are seat belts everywhere. You can ride wherever you like.
Oh my gosh.
Very cool. Very cool. Wow. So tell us what's going to happen with you now. Now you wrote this great book and it's called Bumping Down the Highways. I think we'll put it up here so everyone can see it. Bumping Down the Highways. And
there's no V. It's just Bumping Down Highways.
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry about that. Let me fix that. So,
everybody, I should have put a dang V in the title.
But anyhow, so now that's your first book, right? Are you writing another book?
Yeah, and so this year, May 24th, I was supposed to have left for Alaska. I have been to 47 states, and I'm missing North Dakota, Alaska, and Hawaii. So I was supposed to leave. I was on track with Guinness to be the very first woman to RV all 50 states. The plan was I'd go through North Dakota, through Canada, go to Alaska, come back down the West Coast, park my RV, and I found someone that would rent an RV to me in Hawaii. And so I would finish my 50 in my 50s. And so they closed the border for Canada, and they were supposed to open maybe the end of May, and then it was the end of June, and now it's maybe the end of July. But it's too late. I can't go. It's like a 3-month trip. I could get there, but I wouldn't be able to get back before the weather got bad. And so the second book was that I've been writing since the first book was supposed to be finishing my 50 in my 50s, and I would finish it this summer. And so that's one of the things I got bummed out about over all of this. And so I'm doing a couple of things. I actually am writing some comical but how-to kind of RV books, like It Happens, and the first two letters are, you got 2 asterisks and something, It Happens, RV tank stories and tips. So I started collecting stories of my own, the crazy things that happen with water and plumbing and sewer in an RV, and stories from other people, and the lessons they learned and tips how for that not to happen to you. And I'm working on some different ones like that. And then I am also working on a TV show. We're actively seeking sponsors for a show that possibly will be called Home Sweet Highway. That's the idea. There's a video out there. I think it's on my YouTube. It's on my website on the very front page. The very first picture on the front page. Y'all check out that video. That is the sizzle reel for the TV show. So that's what I'm working on.
Very cool.
So when you go to these places, how long do you stay? Or do you skip around from city to city when you go to each state? Or do you stay for, like a month and then go to the next city? Or how do you do that?
So it depends on what I'm doing. Like I'm headed to Texas on Monday. This is really cool. You meet amazing people on the road, and I've met incredible people from my book. This family lives on a ranch in Texas, and they found me through my book and have been asking me to come visit since it came out last summer. I'm headed to Texas to meet someone I've never met. Charles, the man, he has put in an RV site for me on the ranch with power and water. He even put in a hot water heater and a water
That's so cool.
in the barn so I can wash my clothes.
Oh.
And I'm going to go. I don't know how long I'll stay. And I don't know how long it'll take me. On my way there, what I tend to do if I'm going to something like that, I'm in North Carolina now, and I'll spend a night I think it'll take me 3 or 4 days. I don't get in a hurry. I may drive 3 hours. I may drive 6 hours, but usually never more than 4 or 5 hours. So I'll get there, and then I don't know how long I'm staying there. It's open. I know I'll be there for the 4th of July. And then sometimes I want to go to a place where I have to make a reservation because they're so popular, and I might stay a week there. But if I can't find an RV site and I'm on the road to somewhere, it's totally possible that I spend the night in one of my favorite places, Cracker Barrel parking lots. I call it I'm cracker docking because I don't get to plug in anywhere. But when I go there, they're so gracious to let me stay there and spend the night. I can run my generator. I have power and I have water on board in my tank. But, usually they will tell me where I can park, where there's plenty of light or where there's video cameras. Mm-hmm. And I always go in the store and buy something or have a hot meal and give the manager and the server a book. But I don't really stay somewhere for a month. Every once in a while I might if I've got something going on there, but a month is not, like, I can't sit still that long. There's too much out there to see. Did you know that there's an RV park that is, what is the name of the city? What's the big city right across from, you can see the Statue of Liberty one way and you can see downtown Manhattan. What is it?
New Jersey?
It's across the water, straight across the water.
Isn't that New Jersey? It's across the water?
It's across.
In New York? Yeah, New York and then New Jersey?
It's probably in New Jersey. Staten Island? Oh, it's right there by Staten Island. Mm-hmm. So there's an RV park there. I went there last summer. It was pretty amazing. I found all kinds of really cool places.
That's amazing. Now, do you tow a vehicle behind you too?
I do. So when I first started with the motorhome, I wasn't comfortable towing because I couldn't even drive it. And after about 6 months, I had to have a vehicle. So I tow a Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk behind me. Okay. So I connect that. I flat tow. There are different ways to tow. You can have a trailer. There's no way I could do that because I'm not strong enough to move a trailer and then you can't see to pull up on it. So I flat tow with some equipment called a Blue Ox, and it has a separate braking system in it that's wireless that runs to my RV. So when I push my RV brakes, it also pushes the brakes on the car.
So the whole experience has been a learning thing for you. How did you get started with it? I mean, what possessed you to do this?
Well, I worked for corporate America. I had a really, really big job. A really big job. Like I had the big giant house in the cul-de-sac, the one where you drive up in your convertible Lexus and thank you, and you push the button for your garage and you drive in and you push the button before you get out and you never see your people. I had that big giant house, and I also had a condo in Atlantic Beach, and I had the convertible Lexus. I had the fabulous Acura SUV. I had the 47 little black dresses. I had Prada heels. I paid $1,000 for shoes, and it meant nothing. It didn't matter. And I was living the American dream, or so it appeared, but it didn't feel like it.
Now you are.
I didn't have time for me. I didn't have time for my family. I looked like I was living it, but really, I was a complete fraud. I hated what I did. And I had a challenge with my condo, my beach condo, and needed to take my dogs somewhere. My son said, "Mom, why don't you bring them to Oregon?" Insurance was going to pay for temporary housing, but no one would take a big dog and a little dog. And so I got in my car, or in the SUV, and I took off across the country from Florida to Oregon with like the barest of essentials, because I figured nobody's going to see me anyway. I thought I'd rush across in 2 or 3 days, and I'd get there and I'd get back and that'd be all done. And after the second day, I fell in love. I fell in love with the simplicity and the people that I was meeting on the road. I slowed down. I took detours. And by the time I came back, I think I'd been back 3 days. Well, it took me way more than 3 days to get there, by the way. It took me weeks to get there. But when I came back to Florida, I think I'd been home 2 or 3 days, and I went and bought my first camper. And I thought that I would just spend the rest of the summer on a lake. And that's when I really fell in love with it and got to know the RV community, the people that do this every day, the campers that come and go. And I decided to take the leap. I sold everything, and people said I couldn't or shouldn't do it, but here I am now, 47 states later, doing it by myself, loving it. I may be alone, but I am never lonely. There are people in my world every day. Everywhere I go, people want to help me. People want to feed me. It's just amazing. I collect people, and I cherish them, and I treat them like they're my family. And those are the people like this family that I'm going to visit that put in RV sites that I can use.
I've heard that the RV culture is a culture. You know, it's a different. Just like the fishing boat culture or the boating culture. You know, you just adjust with that.
Kind of hang and do things. I have another girlfriend that does the same thing. She had a condo on the beach and she sold it, and she got a motorhome, and she's traveling, and she meets people along the way, and they say, "Hey, let's go such and such," and she'll go and do that, and then she'll come back here to visit family. And last time I talked to her, she said she was got to go because a bunch of them were going to meet in Colorado, so she had to get on the road back again, and she offered to take me with her, but I couldn't, because I take her. I didn't.
So
Terry, I know you're listening, and he's got property up in North New York somewhere, so he'd probably put you up in his property there too. So
connections.
Yeah. So and it's just fun. Like you said, you meet people along the way, and you just really have a great time. So that's awesome.
I remember the road trips that I'd been on, not in an RV or anything, just in a car, but looking out the window, driving along, and I'd see these little towns, and in my mind, as a pastor, I'm looking at them, I'm like, God, I would love to stop in this little town and just stay there for a couple of weeks, just to see how be a part of the people, and of course I never do, because I'm usually the passenger, and I've got to follow along with the driver. But anyway, anyways,
that's one of the beautiful things about me not having a plan, a big specific plan. Like I don't know exactly how long it'll take me to get somewhere. I don't know how long I'll stay. But if I'm going somewhere or I'm driving through someplace, I can just stop and I can stay. Or if I'm somewhere and I want to stay longer, I can stay longer. I did that just on this last trip. When I was at Flamingo Lake in Florida. I decided I wanted to stay a little longer, and I went over to the office and said, "I'll move if this site. I think this site's taken, but I want to stay a little bit longer." And they worked things around and moved somebody else, so I didn't have to move my RV. It's just, it's I love it. It's amazing.
I think too, the people are kind. I know that I grew up in that world. I mean, I was born in Elkhart, Indiana, which is the RV capital of the world, I think, camper company. And my owned a camper company. They made what they called slide-in campers, which is like your RV, but it's actually a slide-in camper that goes in. And so I was raised in that kind of environment, and they're very different people. Like you said, they're like it's like a family, the RV family, and they help each other. When you pull into a place, a campground, there's usually somebody around that will help you if they see that you need help with something, backing in. Well, my girlfriend said she has trouble backing in, and so somebody will back her in and do all this.
Let me talk to her. I'll tell her the trick. It's super, super simple once you know the trick.
Yeah, mine is like meet a guy and have him back me in.
Camera.
So you talk about those people. I was, I think it was in Idaho. It was one of my first trips it was my first trip cross country in the fifth wheel. I had gotten pulled into this pull through side, and I just sat down to journal. And all of a sudden there was a little dog in my lap, and it wasn't my little dog. And a woman came around the corner and introduced herself to me and apologized. She said, "We used to have a fifth wheel. She thinks that is her house because this is what ours is like." And so we chatted for a little bit. Well, they invited me to dinner that night. That was the first time some stranger in an RV park had invited me to dinner. We had the most amazing meal, y'all. We had hot dogs and shrimp cocktail. It rocked because it was the company. And now when I see them, we joke, I want hot dogs and shrimp cocktail. But that woman said when I left, "You should come visit us. We have a ranch in Missouri and we have an RV site," because when I met him, we were RVing. Both had lost their spouses and they met in an RV park. He kept wanting her to come visit, and she
Guess I need to go RVing.
He put an RV pad in for her so she could come visit, kind of like the RV that I'm going to go use. But so she kept saying, "Come visit us." And I thought that was the strangest thing because that's not the world I came from. You know, people didn't do nice things like that. You didn't go to somebody's house or property and just show up. And when I left, the whole time I was gone, she kept messaging me and texting me and saying, "We really want you to come visit on your way back through." I finally decided, what the heck? I had the most fun there, visiting with them on their ranch. We have since met up in other RV parks all around the country. We've met up in Florida. We've met up in Niagara Falls. I was at RV shows that they came to just to see me. And it's like that everywhere I go. The people are incredible. They're just incredible. If I can't do something, somebody will help me. And a lot of times people will see me laying on my back under the RV with my red toenails sticking out and come and say, "Can I help you?" It's an incredible, incredible community of people.
Yeah, it is great. It's a great lifestyle. It's really a lot of fun, and I would love to do it eventually, but I just can't do it full time. So,
you could.
No, not now. I can't. Because I take care of my dad. I take care of my father. But yeah, but there'll be a time in my life when I can, and we'll see what happens. But I really admire you. So now all that you're doing, I do envy her too. Now all that you're doing, how do you fund it? I mean, are you getting some sponsors? Are you doing some different things for funding with regards to, I know you said something about the sponsorship of the video. Are you doing anything with your book, or how are you doing this?
So different things, because I don't know the word fail. There's always a way. I always survive. I always land on my feet. So I try to keep, I don't know, you may have heard of it, keeping your funnel full in sales, keeping my funnel full so that there's always some money trickling in. I do consulting work. I work with people that want to RV full time as a consultant, helping them figure out how can they do this. Do they need to get finances in order, how to get their house sold, how to pay off all their debt, how to be able to do it. So I do some of that. I do some government contracts staffing consulting as well. And then I got some sponsors. A lot of RV parks will give me a free site if I, well, right there now during COVID-19, they don't, because I can't do a book signing, or sometimes I do kids activities as a celebrity person. And so they'll give me a free RV site for a few days because I'm coming to do something for their park. That helps a lot. And then I have companies that sponsor me in the form of products, things that I need, that I use on a daily basis. Clear 2.0 is the most amazing inline water filtration system, and they keep me in supply of the water filters. That I've learned things from different companies. There's Gas Stop. They make this product. You know, in Europe, over in UK, it's a requirement to have some kind of safety valve on your propane tanks, whether it's cylinders or a built-in tank. Here, there's no requirement. They have a product that you put on there. If there's any leak in your propane tank, it shuts your tank off immediately, which is amazing. And so, you know, they do stuff for me. There are just a lot of different RV type people and different people that as sponsors either sponsor me financially, or they'll sponsor a thing, an event I'm doing, or the book tour or something. And then my book sales, I get money from that, from speaking. There's always something. Yeah, I can always find something.
That's good. That's very, very good. You know, I think it's fun to not only do what you love, live where you love, and then also be able to enjoy, you know, those around you. And that's definitely what you're doing. You're inspiring.
Look, my gosh.
I know. Look at, she's tanned. She's happy. Yeah. Like, I love it.
Pop and my flip flops, and
I know, it's great. And even in a time when it's, you know, it's very trying for most people. And so you're showing us and sharing with us that we can just you know, step out a little bit and do something different and face your fears, because you certainly did that at the beginning. And so, wow.
I just was afraid on that big mountain, and I'm afraid a lot of times. And like I said, I decided that I wasn't going to wait on someone to travel with me. I was going to make today my someday. I was going to do the things I was afraid of in spite of the fear. I was going to live life today. And, you know, I've seen places that were more beautiful, that were more amazing than this last trip I took. But I think that this last trip was probably one of my favorite trips, because I learned something from COVID-19. I learned how so very blessed I am to be able to still do this, because this was already my life. I was already able to do this when so many people are stuck at home. I still get to laugh every day. I got to see things every day. And I would tell people, if I could give anybody advice, it would be really think about, if today was your someday, what would you do? And if today was your someday and that thing you want to do, it's time to go make a plan. Maybe it can't be tomorrow or next week, but make a real plan and make it happen, because none of us are promised tomorrow.
I like that.
Very, very good. Well, let's share again, because we're getting down to the close here. Let's share again your book. It's Bumping Down Highways. I fixed it. Bumping Down Highways. And then anyone that wants to reach out and, you know, connect with Jenni, right here's her email, jenni@bumpingdownhighways.com. Her website is www.bumpingdownhighways, which is plural now, .com. And so go on there and, you know, gosh, support you in your trips and things. I think it would be great. I hope you'll come back on our show again and share with us
What an inspiration.
Yeah.
Thank you. And don't forget, we're gonna do a show on the road when this clears up some. I'll come get you, I promise.
Oh my
Okay.
God, that sounds.
Well, we'll hold you to that. We'll most certainly hold you to that because I think it'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, any way we can help you here at Going Solo Network, we certainly want to be able to do that. So let us know if there's something that we can do and have you back on again. And we love you, and we just want you to be safe and just keep loving life, you know?
And if I can ever do anything for y'all or any of you as viewers and listeners, my email is there for a reason. That's my personal email. I respond to everybody. If I can help or do anything, I have been so lucky to have people help me. All you got to do is shout, and I'm there for you.
Yeah, that's great.
Thank
Actually, let's see. Here, he says, "Is that where we send the marriage proposals?" You bet. I say yes. I just want to be invited, okay? Very funny. He's a riot. And we have some great people on here. We've got Bill Petty's been here. He's been talking to us. He said to me, "Nice smile. Thank you for that." And of course, we have Mark. You know, Mark always comes on and cheers with us too. And Terry is just always very comical. So we appreciate you listeners that come on. Those of you that post, comments and stuff, we love it. So we really do appreciate that very much. So Jenny, thank you so much, and I can't wait to maybe see the movie that you have coming out. That would be awesome.
Movie? I didn't hear anything. What about the movie? I didn't.
Did you hear a movie? I'd love a movie. I can think of all kinds of people that would be perfect playing me, but it's a TV show we're working on.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. A TV show. Oh, yeah, it's a TV show. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Well, that sounds really exciting. Wow, you got all kinds of things going. So,
yeah. She's
hero.
Yeah.
How old am I? Is this an even year?
What?
Pardon?
Is this an even year, 2020? I'm only 52, so I'm still young.
Yeah, me too. I'm only 52 too. Liar, pants on fire. But what the heck? But it's just a lot of fun. And you're doing something that most of us think about doing. And so I love your comments at the end to really live your life to the fullest. So it is just great having you here on the show. I want to thank you so much. Kathy, you want to say anything else before we close?
No, you put me on the spot when you do that.
I want to make sure I'm not always doing all the talking.
I love your hair, Kathy.
Isn't her hair great?
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Here for a second here. Your hair is pretty awesome.
Mine's a pretty big.
This is actually a wig, and I am getting into the wig consulting business.
Yes.
On.
So every show, Chick's Passion, every show she'll have a different wig on, and she'll be like a new woman each time.
A lot of work to get all this stuff up inside a wig, and it's always
I have really thick hair. My real hair is really, really thick. It's not that hard. All you have to know how to give you tips and tricks. You just put it in a braid on 2 braids and wrap it around, and then it's flattens out. But your hair is pretty. You don't even need to think about it.
You've got beautiful hair, Jenny. You know what? My hair is long too, and the reason I keep it long is because it's easy to do. It's not.
Her name is Amber Hope at Steel Hair Gallery in Jacksonville, Florida. Has been doing it for many, many years.
Oh, really?
We love her. She's responsible for my hair.
Yeah. Oh, she does a good job.
I just kind of, like you either pull it back or leave it down. It's just kind of easy, low maintenance, I think.
Yeah. So I braid it. I put it in a ponytail with a ball cap all the time, and I'm outside doing, and she's a magician.
I'm just going through a transformation right now. So it's like, well, I'm letting my natural hair grow out, and it looks horrible, a little bit here and, color here. So instead of, looking like that, I'll just cover it up, put a wig on. And
I think it's great. And I think the quality of your wigs are very good too. So I'm excited to see you next time we're on, see what kind of wig you're going to have on then.
Yes.
Well, that's what it's all about. Chicks passion, that's for sure. We're passionate about a lot of different things, and we're going to tell some of our secrets on this show. So it's going to
Really?
be fun.
Really?
Yeah. Yes, you are. Jenni, we love you. Thank you so much. Again, your book, everyone go and buy it. Bumping Down Highways. And then right here's her email again. Email her, Jenni at bumpingdownhighways.com. Her website, bumpingdownhighways.com again. So just make sure that you guys certainly reach out. Let her know that you heard her here on the show. We'd appreciate that. And buy her book, support her. We want to support people that come on the show and give back exactly what they give to us. And you've been a terrific supporter. You're also one of our elite guests. And so I want to make sure everybody knows that. We have our information right on the website under the elite guests. And it's Jenni Raney Edwards. And all of her information is right there. So you can always contact her if you see the show later on and you need the information. But thank you for supporting us. We want to support you. So anything we can do, let us know.
Thanks. Love y'all.
It's so nice to meet you, Jenni.
Nice
Okay,
meeting you.
bye. Okay, guys, you're listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. This is the Chicks Passion. I am Cece Schatz, the doyen of relationships, and I have my good friend with me,
Kathy Lamb.
and we say goodnight for now. We'll see you next time. We're a bi-weekly show, so every other week. We'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.